a place that I love as well as my Burgeo home 'neath the maiden tea hill. My Burgeo home, that heaven of mine, the home of my parents, so loving and kind. I love them so, and I always will. And my Burgeo home 'neath the maiden tea hill. The harbor's so pretty in the morning sunshine, as the seabirds and robins their sweet notes entwine. The fishing goes shiny in the water so still, here in my home 'neath the maiden tea hill. When I had trouble or if I was sad, I always found comfort from good friends I had. They knew that I loved them and I always will. And my Burgeo home 'neath the maiden tea hill. My Burgeo home, that heaven of mine, the home of my parents, so loving and kind. I love them so, and I always will. And my Burgeo home 'neath the maiden tea hill. With her fishery failing, I may have to roam. Dear God, how I'd hate to leave my dear home. But each night in memory, sure I'll see it still. My Burgeo home 'neath the maiden tea hill. My Burgeo home, that heaven of mine, the home of my parents, so loving and kind. I love them so, and I always will. And my Burgeo home 'neath the maiden tea hill.
Good evening. Welcome to This Week in Review. Tonight's stories include
For those members, the term office, the bylaws.
Thank you.
and more, so please stay tuned.
Okay, people, your assignment today is very simple. Make this earth as beautiful as possible. Any questions? Get started. Does anyone know where Lisa is?
Yeah, I do.
Do a good turn for the earth. A community service thought from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
A public meeting regarding breaking our province up into zones was held at the community center on Thursday. The turnout at this meeting was not impressive, with only 2 people from Burgeo and 1 from Francois. Despite this, however, the meeting went ahead anyway. Gort Tucker, Burgeo's representative on this committee, opened the meeting by introducing the out-of-town guests.
Should be presented. And next to him was Pat Palmer. Pat is with the education sector from West Boygan, and he's our chairperson of this zone. And Juanita Kirk-Monmouth is from the Bar Sports Association, it's RDA. So Pat will probably say a few words on everything is all set up, okay?
Thanks, Gordon. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're brave and bold enough to come out and the courage. What we want to try to do here this evening, we had a meeting, a similar meeting to this area today, and while we're in the area, we want to try to provide an opportunity for anybody who couldn't make it to the first meeting to come to the second meeting. And what we're trying to do here this evening is twofold. On the one hand, we have a presentation which Elaine is going to present to you, which will try to explain to you what those regional economic development boards are, where they came from, how they are to be set up, and what it is they are supposed to do. At the end of the presentation, we'll provide an opportunity for you to give us any comments or suggestions that you might have relative to the setting up of the permanent zone board. As Gordon said, we are a provisional board, and we're basically a steering committee. We are set in place primarily to set up the permanent board and to see that the permanent board is structured and set up fair and equitably. And Elaine will elaborate in more detail on that as we go through. So then, ladies and gentlemen, I'll turn you over to Elaine White, who's going to do a presentation.
As Gordon introduced me, my name is Elaine White, and I am from Port. My residence is in Port. And for the last 3 years, I worked as coordinator for the Long Range Community Futures Committee. And that's one of the committees that, because of this whole process, has changed its mandate. It merged with, just this spring, merged with the Business Development Center. So it's no longer Community Futures Development Corporation. And they have changed their mandate just to business and are no longer going to be involved in community economic development, because this new regional board will be doing that job. So without further ado, I shall proceed with our explanation of Zone 9. Okay, with what ended up happening, in the economic plan that was set out by the government, the change and challenge, the Premier had divided put imaginary lines across the province to divide the whole province, Newfoundland and Labrador, up into a zone.
This meeting will be shown in its entirety on the Community Channel on Thursday night. During an interview earlier this month, we were informed that there's a new sign to be erected at the turnoff to the Burgeo Road, and it was hoped that this sign would be in place before the Salmon Sea Festival.
And I understand from an interview I had earlier with Kim Piddle, who's the public relations person for the Festival Coast Tourism Association, that this sign made by Derek Mercer was made in hopes of having it put in on the highway before the Sand and Sea Festival got started. Well, today is the start of the Sand and Sea Festival, but the sign's not up. Can you tell us why?
Well, you understand right, Dave. Yeah, that was the intention. Derek did make this sign for us, and it's paid for. The money's raised throughout the festival, and money from our HRD for materials and whatever for our COP program that we had. And Derek did it. He did it free labor. So the only cost to us was the material, and it's just a beautiful sign, as you can see. And we would have loved to have had the sign in there even long before now. We need the sign on the Burgeo Road to show people that we're down there, and that we're just more than just a road that got 146 kilometers with no services. We don't like to see that. It's a negative sign in there. We want to put something positive in there. And because the festival was coming up, it was a good time. We thought now would be a goal. Well, let's have a target date to try and get the sign up. Unfortunately, it's still here, and it's just here for the lack of storage space, basically, or a place to put it. And plus the people can see it too as they come in the road. Some who don't get a chance to get in the road. But our first thing to do was to contact the Department of Highways to see if we can get a permit to put it there. And it's fine and dandy for people to say, put it there anyway. You know, we'd love to set it. We've said it 1,000 times ourselves. Well, we'll put it there anyway. Our plan B would be if we don't air anything by this date, we're going to go in and we're going to dig holes and we're going to put it there. But we've had word that have said, no, you shouldn't put it there, because if you do, if you put it there without permit, it's liable for destruction. They'll probably come in. I'm not saying they will, nobody said they will, but it is a possibility that they can come in and take this sign. It's too big to truck away in a truck, but they can take their chainsaw, saw up, and there's not a thing we can say about it. It's not our property to put it on, and you have to have special permits, and we'd like to do it legal so that it can be there. It's a nice sign, and we don't want to see anything happen to it. So that's the reason that it's not in there. We're still waiting on the Department of Highways, and I've had lots of dealings with waiting and waiting and waiting. I don't know how long it's going to take or how long we're going to wait.
Okay.
And I think, personally, that their answer is going to be yes. And they even offered, they were talking to Tom Hutchings, and they said when they get a sketch of the sign and get everything in place, and they would even put it up for us, which is what we'd like to see. Because, I mean, something this big, you just can't stick up on a couple of 2x4s or whatever, you know? And it's going to take a lot of wind.
I guess with their experience, they'd know how to put it up right the first time, so you wouldn't have any problems with it.
Yes, exactly, and that's what we'd like to see. We'd like to see it done up, you know, put there right. And I mean, it's a nice sign, that, and we're proud of it, and we'd like to put it there and have it done nice so that we can be proud of it.
Okay, Han, well, we wish you the best of luck in getting the sign up, and if you need our assistance in any way, or the people of Burgeo, I'm sure they'd be more than happy to help you get the sign put up.
Okay, Dave, thanks. And that was what our plan B was, to call the BBS and say, listen, we need a flatbed truck, and we need as many people as we can get. And I mean, it may come to that. You know, it may come to that. If they say no, we think we're going to go right ahead and put it up anyways and suffer the consequences, because we just can't leave it there. You know, it's welcome to the Caribou Trail, and we're at the end of the Caribou Trail, you know.
It's at the wrong end.
It's at the wrong end, exactly, you know. But it's a beautiful sign, and you have to agree, and we want it put up right.
Okay, Ann, well, we'd like to thank you for talking to us, and we wish you the best of luck at it.
Thank you, Dave.
Kelly Tucker and Mason Keeping were selling grab bags for the IWK Children's Hospital outside of Pam's Beauty Salon on Thursday. This is the second time that these grab bags have been sold here in Burgeo. Did you ever wonder what people do to entertain themselves while they're camping on the Burgeo Road? Well, we have a tape of a group of kids that are camping in the Peter Strides area as they entertain themselves as well as other campers in the area.
We would like to thank you all for coming, and we hope you enjoy our performances. We never had any help, and we only had one day to practice. First, me, Megan, Karen, Shelley, and Kristen are going to do a song called Five in the Bed, and then Karen will do her joke. In the bed, and the little one said, roll over, roll over. So they all rolled over, and one fell over, and she gave a little scream, and she gave a little scream. Please remember to tie a knot in your pajamas. Single beds are only made for 1, 2, 3, 4 in the bed, and the little one said, roll over, roll over. So they all rolled over, and one fell over, and she gave a little scream, and she gave a little shout. Please remember to tie a knot in your pajamas. Single beds are only made for 1, 2, 3 in the bed. The little one said, roll over, roll over. So they all rolled over, and one fell out, and she gave a little scream, and she gave a little ew. Please remember to tie a knot in your pajamas. Single beds are only made for 1, 2 in the bed. The little one said, roll over, roll over. And they all rolled over, and one fell out, and she gave a little scream, and she gave a little shout. Please Kristen, Shelly, Megan, and I will do a Newfie dance.
This concert will be shown in its entirety at a later date. Beginning in October, BBS will be offering a new program for your viewing pleasure. We also have other programs in the works that we hope to have up and running this fall. The Telephone Pioneers of America have cookbooks for sale here in Burgeo. The books are $8 each, with $1 from the sale of each book going to the Burgeo Recreation Commission. We are currently awaiting more books which are being sold at the Burgeo Museum and the BBS office. Stay tuned for more of This Week in Review coming up after this.
Wanna be cool when you hit the slope. Don't be drunk and don't do no dope. Luke's gonna show us all about the way. Party people, listen what the cool hands say. Say no to dope and think before you drink. It's a cool house. Say no to dope and think before you drink.
Brought to you by the War Amputations of Canada and this station.
After months of planning and hard work, the Sand and Sea Festival got underway on Friday with opening ceremonies at Sandbanks Provincial Park. There was quite a crowd on hand for the opening ceremonies, which were done by Ann Parsons of the Festival Coast Tourism Association and Mayor Blaine Marks.
Burgeo Tourism Committee and the Burgeo Innovators. I'd like to say a special thank you to all the committee members, and I'd like to name those active committee members, and they are Bill Parsons, who's the event chairperson, Edie Anderson, who's the communications person, chair, Rosie Coley, who's the merchandising and crafts chairperson, and Walt McDonald, who's the finance chairperson. And our other organizers and committee members are Lorraine Swift, Paulette Merson, Wanda Melbourne, Florence Courtney, Ed Young, Titus House, Isabel Diven, Gail House, Linda Porter, Clay Eyre, Daphne Young, and Leonard Porter.
I'd like to welcome everyone to Burgeo's first Sand and Sea Festival. I'd like to say a special welcome to our out-of-town visitors. We hope that you enjoy your stay with us and that you'll come back again. And we ask that when you go back home, tell them about our area, about our beautiful park, and encourage them to come down and see it for themselves.
We'll bring you highlights of many of these activities on next week's show.
I don't think I'm getting through. Now I don't need no company, and I don't want to dance. So what part of no don't you understand? What part of no don't you understand? To put it plain and simple, I'm not into one night stands. I'd be glad to explain it if it's too hard to comprehend. What part of no don't you understand? I'd be glad to explain it if it's too hard to comprehend. What part of no don't you understand? What part of no don't you understand? What part of no don't you understand?
Well, that's it for this week. For This Week in Review, I'm Dave Cooper. Thanks for watching. Good night.